Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Hustle for a Cure Skate-a-thon. I'm standing here with the one and only Mr. Ron MacLean. If you don't mind, just sharing with us a little bit why you're here and maybe a memory of John that you can share with us today.
Well, John, first of all, as you know, Randy is respected by all referees for the hustle. That was his claim to fame. Nobody was more intense and honest about his approach to, single-minded purposefulness refereeing, and he was great. But what I loved about him is my first vivid memory of him. I was just new to Hockey Night in Canada. It's 1986, and everything was bigger than life. There was Don Cherry, Dave Hodge. They had Mr. Ballard across the hallway. Jerry McNamara was GM of the Leafs, kind of an ill-fated season for the Leafs. But in comes John D'Amico before the game to drop off this big, giant hawk of meat for our executive producer, Don Wallace. It was some kind of a smoked Italian prosciutto or something. And that was my first impression was, wow, that's John D'Amico, and he's bringing meat to my boss. So anyway, we went from there to years later, Angelo and I became dear friends. John's son, Angelo, was a great referee in the Ontario Hockey Association, and I was a ref, and Angelo was on his way to the NHL as a linesman. And when I would get OHA playoff games, first call always to Angelo, see if he could come along, because if I had him on the ice with me, everything was cool.
So he's a real chip off the old block, is he?
Oh, he's big, as you know, big block. And that fitness, he was really good for me, actually. Truth be told, I was probably in my early 30s when Angelo and I started working together. I'm 48 now. And he was the guy that kind of taught me a lot about just, okay, Ron, you're stretching at all the wrong times. Your fitness is horrible. So he was a good guru, too. He was my Dr. Phil.
Right. Excellent, Ron. Listen, thank you so much. It's an honor to...
Yeah, it's a great event. For you too, and it was funny on the eve of the skate here today. Jason Blake potted 2 in Montreal, so that just goes to show there's a little serendipity involved.
Well, I happen to play Toe Blake in the Rock, and I'm a huge Montreal fan, so that's not as much of a fond memory last night for me.
Oh, but you did a great. What a movie! That was a fantastic movie, and Dick Irvin's dad, of course, who stars in the film, he always he bowed out of the NHL after 30 consecutive seasons coaching, telling the Chicago Blackhawks, boys, I can no longer give you my 100%. I'm done. And there was a guy, Forbes Kennedy, played rookie game with the Chicago Blackhawks when Mr. Irvin made that announcement, and he succumbed to cancer, not blood cancer, but it all weaves together out of the cradle of sport there in Montreal.
It does. Just like you have for so many years with us.
Yeah.
In hockey. I grew up with you, watching you and listening to you, and I want to thank you, and I'm sure John's smiling on us today, and it's just great to be a part of this event with you.
Cheers, Randy. Keep it going, Angelo.
Thank you. It's Randy Thomas reporting from the Hustle for a Cure in Mississauga at the Hershey Center. I want to thank you, and it's been a great day, a great event, and we'll be here next year.